played for Coach John Kopp and a kid I worked with, Dickie Banks, who was tough. And if he could get through that, then, Jim learned a lot and did what he needed to do. And again, as an owner, outstanding job as a player, and now as the owner of the radio station. I mean, I commend how good he has done, and we have grown. Yep. The things that we've now accomplished at the radio station, not me, him. I'm just a voice. I'm just the guy in there to throw some comments out there. But I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. But Jim is so good at what he does. And you talked about Matt Liptak, and I'll tell you what, Lipper does. I don't know how he does hockey, because he calls the game so fast, and he knows these guys and these numbers, and it's like, I hate to say it, my brain don't work that fast.
I agree.
It does.
I agree. Me and Mark Means actually talked about it. He had said somebody had asked him to call a hockey game once, and he said, yeah, no, thank you. And Mark's been around, 30 plus years calling high school football, since my uncle, John Capranis passed away, God rest his soul, this past year. He was 60 plus years in the area. Mark is now one of the ones in the area that has been around the longest, definitely. And, he does a great job. But he said, I don't know how they do it, Matt. I didn't even give it a shot. I agree. I've been calling games now this will be my, I think, 15th or 16th year calling games. How fast it's went, but I want nothing to do with hockey. And Matt came along, never calling a football game, and he did an absolutely phenomenal job as my partner as a rookie. I am so impressed with Lip. He is one of my very, very good friends aside from being my partner, and we've got a really good crew. I am going to toot our horn here at our station, and we got great guys. You yourself, you've been around a long time. You guys gave me the honor to speak to the Scourge once. That was one of my highest honors I ever had, was that you guys thought enough of me to do that, and I'll never forget it. And, you got you and Jim calling games, me and Matt Lipsack, and then Mark Means and Mr. Clark, who was in the pros playing defensive back, played against Jerry Rice and some of the greatest ever. We've got a great team here, and Dave Ferris, who does an amazing job engineering the whole thing, putting everything together. And by the way, somebody who used to be absolutely just a wall, do not ever turn my mic on, keep it away from me. The guy actually does really good on the radio when he gets his shot.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you know what? You look back and you mention those names. Look at the amount of years that they've been affiliated with football, whether they're playing or coaching or whatever. I mean, if you added all of our years together, you're talking about a lot of years of football, from maybe Pee Wee all the way up until college. Yeah. With the years and stuff. So I'm going to say we probably have at least 50 years combined, if not more. Well, it's going to be more, because I alone have 45 years coaching in different levels and stuff. So you add the rest of the guys to it. My God, we could be close to 75 to 100 years combined in just football alone.
You're right. Keep that thought going, Coach. We'll be right back, everybody, and Coach will be waiting. You're listening to Just Football. I'm your host, Matt Emch.
Cryptid Creatures. Find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. Hi, it's Brian. Join me and my co-host Todd as we investigate those things that go bump in the night. We'll talk to real people who have had real face-to-face encounters.
There's two of them across the creek at the big rocks.
With cryptid beings, from Bigfoot to aliens to even demons. By the end, you'll be asking, do I believe? Cryptid Creatures. Find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Are you tired of settling for mediocre wings at sky-high prices? Belleria Niles has some of the best wing prices in Trumbull County, with 12 wings for $10 with over 15 flavors to choose from. Mention this show, Just Football with Matt Emch, with your order and receive a free cheese puff until January 31st. Belleria at 602 Robbins Avenue, Niles, Ohio. 330-544-FOOD. That's 330-544-FOOD. Belleria, we sell taste one bite at a time.
Do you crave mysteries? Are you fascinated by the unexplained? Then summon your courage and plunge into the deep, dark abyss of what lurks beneath. A YouTube channel that dives into the unexplained, the supernatural, eyewitness reports, and more. The real question is, can you handle the truth? Simply search What Lurks Beneath on YouTube, if you think you're brave enough.
From high school to the pros and everything in between, you're listening to City View Sportscast, part of the iMedia One network.
And welcome back to Just Football. I'm your host, Matt Emch. We're going to go right back to bringing Coach Gessler on. As we were talking before the break, we were just talking about, what a great crew we have here. I'm proud to say that we're being, simulcast on other stations. 12 Ounce Sports is the most recent one. So thank you and hello to those guys over here. I'm proud that, they're simulcasting Just Football with Matt Emch. I just wanted to mention real quick to everybody, if you are a business listening, or if you are just somebody that would like to get somebody, their name on the radio, you want to sponsor a high school or somebody like, the Mahoning Federals, the Mahoning County Federals, just give us a call here at, Western Reserve Radio and City View Sportscast. You ask for or look up Matt Emch, and I can set you guys up with an ad, sponsorship. We can do it many, many ways, everybody. You can do it for your business. We get you a professionally made commercial that runs like some of the ones you just heard. So, if you want to be involved with the Mahoning Valley Federals coming up very soon, jump on it, everybody. Those spots are not going to last long. So look me up. You can find me on Messenger too on Facebook, and I will take care of you. Just throwing a little bit out there for them, Coach, because those spots are not going to be lasting.
Yep, that's all right. We raise a little money, help out, and I know it works for me. People listen to us on the radio. My spot is out there, and they now put a face to a product, as we say, and it's helped me out. So I enjoy the radio time and the sponsorship, and come on out, and we'll tell you. And the nice thing is, it's constant all year round. We try to mention names. If they're supporters, we do what we got to do. So we enjoy doing that.
Yeah, and it's personal, everybody. We're not just, this isn't just a ploy here. This is honest. We treat you guys differently than other stations, and I'm not putting anybody down. But you go through like what I did with Mineral Ridge last year. Was the first year that I have not ever done Mineral Ridge the entire season. My daughter's the featured twirler there. First one in almost 35 years. And Ursula wasn't too happy, but I'm doing the Ridge, and we did all of their local businesses, and I took really good care of them. Anybody that owns a business and has done ads before, Coach, it's expensive. Yeah. It's really expensive. Well, we take care of you.
Yeah, I've done some TV ads, and I've done radio, and it's not cheap, but with this, and we get a lot of listeners. We have that other station out there that does high school football, but our return is amazing because people like our professionalism, and they just say that we're informative and they could follow the game as well. So that's a tribute to the announcers that announce the game and the hard work we've put in.
Absolutely. I sent you a couple things earlier, Coach, if you grab your phone there. and I had sent you one that I wanted to talk to you about these ranking the best players available in college football's transfer portal. I was just curious about, and last week we talked about this, about how many are entering the portal. And not just that, as Mark Means and I discussed, and then you and I talked about it, they are not going to have a limit to how many times they can go to a university and, like if you're on an Xbox or PlayStation, hit the reset button. I don't feel like playing Ohio State today. I'm going to switch to Notre Dame. Oh, okay. I'm done with the Irish. Let me switch to, the Tigers at LSU. And that's basically what it is. We talked about some of the negatives and the positives, but today let's talk about this article out of USA Today, some of the best players available in the transfer portal, and Keandre Lambert Smith, wide receiver from Penn State, entering the NFL draft. And let's see here what it says here. Lambert Smith considered entering the NFL draft, after leading the Nittany Lions with 673 yards. His return was seen as a major coup, with Penn State in need of receiving options to help make its offense more explosive against top defenses. But Lambert Smith won't be a part of that group this fall and will make a jump to the portal and impact elsewhere. Definitely at a school like Penn State, Coach, they really aren't used to having players leave. That's usually one of those schools. I know Paterno's not there anymore, but the group that they got there has been doing a really good job. They're not used to guys leaving and checking out.
Well, again, my feelings on this, Matt, it's going to ruin the sport. Yeah, it's good for the players, and that's great, but they have got to reevaluate these roles. There's got to be something where they can't jump every 5 years, because in the long run, and I've mentioned it before, that's why Nick Saban left. You don't want to hear it. These guys bring these guys in as freshmen, and they want them there. They jump around, and it's just not good for the sport. Good for them because they're making money. But is it going to ruin college football? There's where my problem lies. Looking at some of the stuff with the NFL draft and what's going on there, and guys that are like Marvin Harris leaving. Okay, that's smart. That if you got your education and that's what you want to do to try to make money, that's fine. You got to do what you got to do. But this stuff about jumping unlimited time in your college career is wrong. And again, I think it's going to ruin. And the sad thing is that there's going to be an unbalance in the league. And I'll tell you why. Is your smaller schools going to be able to offer the millions, and I mean millions, to these kids to come and play for them? Is an Ohio State going to take from an Oregon State or even a lesser school? Are you going to be able to draw somebody from Kentucky to go to Ohio State and pay them the big bucks? I mean, there's the issue that I have. How are you going to keep it going? And in my opinion, it's going to get out of hand because, you offered him. Just like what's going on in the NFL. Quarterbacks made X amount of dollars 10 years ago. What they're making now is crazy money. $250 million for a quarterback? That's just unheard of. And it's the taxpayers paying for the stadiums, and it's the people paying for tickets, which is wrong. So, again, I think it's going to ruin college football. They can say all they want about other kids deserve it because, the colleges are making so much money, but they got to start setting some guidelines. And I just disagree with what's going on.
I agree. It is definitely going to get out of control before it is, under control. But it is what it is right now, and it's let's watch the plane companies that get their money as guys are flying left and right, up and down, all over the map. Yeah, it's a shame. But you got to take your lumps before you learn. And I think, the NCAA will notice maybe a hit in their pocket, or maybe they won't, but the schools definitely will see, a big hit. Just before I mention the next guy on this list, you got to look at like YSU, for instance. A little telling, about the coaching staff there. You had about 13 to 15 players that left and entered the transfer portal. They're lucky as heck that, they got 13 more, and they got some great players. Brady Shannon, the Ursuline all Mr. Everything quarterback, who's also good enough to play in pro baseball, was playing baseball down at Central Florida, I think. He's coming back for quarterback. It's going to be interesting to see who gets the starting position. He's a big boy. He's like 6'3". The kid is a hell of an athlete, and you got Brungard there. So there's going to be some fighting for quarterback, but then you got Dan Reardon, the head coach of Ursuline, his son, Matt Reardon, who was Mr. Everything when he played with Brady Shannon. He was a defensive back, wide receiver, ran the ball back on kickoffs and punts. He was at Miami of Ohio. He left, came to YSU, and quite a few other players. Really good kids, and I'm happy to see local guys. That's how we did it when I played there 91 through 94. Coach Tressel had nothing but tons of local guys. The state of Youngstown, he used to call it. And did it work? Yeah. Four 1AA national championships, or FCS now they call it, in 4 years, 3 championships, 1 runner-up. Not too bad.
Yeah, and you know what? That was something that I had talked about over the years when Trussell stepped down, and then Coach Eacock tried to do a good job, but again, he looked outside of Youngstown, and it kind of slipped away. And my thing was always, as you said it, the state of Youngstown, because I always said the amount of kids that we had playing for us from our area at Youngstown was amazing, and these were top quality kids. And again, I know many of them. There were at least 3 or 4 that just the year they came out their senior years. Chris Samron, I think, ended up at Kentucky, came back, starting at center, and he was there. I'm pretty sure he was there 2 or 3 championships. I'm not sure how many he won.
I don't remember, maybe 2. I think 2. It was 2, but still.
Yeah. But again, here's the kid from Cheney, Matt Gilchrist, Dave Delbaccio. These are guys that play.
Know them both well.
And good, strong, quality football players. And then over the years, the kids from the kids from Harding, the kids from Western Reserve, the kids from Ursuline, kids from Mooney. If you look right past your nose, there's some quality people here. You just got to get out there and get them, and you got to recruit them. Hell, I remember Cheney at basketball games. Here's Tressel. He come in, sits right with those kids, and he may be talking to one kid, and he's talking to about 3 or 4 of them. And guess what? This kid may not go, but then he grabs a couple more that were ended up players at YSU. So I always gave him credit because, again, he used our kids, and our kids are good. If they're able to go all over the country and play, they're sure as hell good enough to play here at Youngstown.
Yeah, and that's the only way Coach Phillips is going to get Youngstown State back to competing for national championships. He has to bring the local boys and keep the local boys home. This is his, in my opinion, this is his last shot here. I think he got a 2-year extension. If he does not do this in the next 2 years, and just because he got a 2-year extension does not mean he'll get that second year if they end up folding. I'm very interested to see how they do this year. I have a good feeling about it. I hope for him. I know him. He was a student coach when I played there. He is very much, the mindset of Tressel socialite, just like Feck at Minnesota. He speaks out loud about, making sure that everyone knows that he learned everything that he did from Coach Tressel, and that's how he does things. I hope that Coach Phillips can do it because they need the excitement back here, at the Ice Castle. Hold that thought, Coach. Everybody, we'll be right back. You're listening to Just Football. I'm your host, Matt Emch. And that is Coach Gessler.
Are you tired of settling for mediocre wings at sky-high prices? Belleria Niles has some of the best wing prices in Trumbull County, with 12 wings for $10 with over 15 flavors to choose from. Mention this show, Just Football with Matt Emch, with your order and receive a free cheese puff until January 31st. Belleria at 602 Robbins Avenue, Niles, Ohio. 330-544-FOOD. That's 330-544-FOOD. Belleria, we sell taste one bite at a time.
Do you crave mysteries? Are you fascinated by the unexplained? Then summon your courage and plunge into the deep, dark abyss of what lurks beneath. A YouTube channel that dives into the unexplained, the supernatural, eyewitness reports, and more. The real question is, can you handle the truth? Simply search What Lurks Beneath on YouTube, if you think you're brave enough.
In the Valley, football is king, and the Mahoning Valley Federals are looking to build the 2024 roster with talent forged in this area to compete for a Tri-Point Football League championship. If you're 18 and older and looking to return to the gridiron, call General Manager John Galbraith at 330-540-1099 or visit the team on Facebook at Mahoning Valley Federals Developmental Football. The Mahoning Valley Federals, honoring the football tradition in the Valley. From high school to the pros and everything in between, you're listening to City View Sportscast, part of the iMedia One network.
And welcome back to Just Football. I'm your host, Matt Emch. We got the coach, Bob Gessler, on the line still. Coach, I love it when you're here, man. I have a great time with you. It's an honor, as always.
I have a good. It's fun. It's fun.
It is. I don't get to talk with guys that know their stuff as much, very often. You do. I'm going to change my mind about that article about the transfer portal and the guys in it. But, I was looking through it on the break, and this one guy, this DB from Colorado, I saw Colorado, and it just snapped my head into, I'd rather talk about this before I lose you here.
Okay.
Colorado, Deion Sanders. What an amazing job that guy's doing there.
Well, you know what? He went out, he weeded out the garbage and said, this is how it's going to be. This is what this program's about. Program's about God. It's about family. And then it's about football. But then when it comes to the football, I'm the boss. This is what you have to do to be a winner. He was a winner. I mean, how do you doubt him? I watched some of the games. Again, some games not so good. Players, I believe, let him down. But I'll tell you what, he's got a good bunch of kids there, and if he continues to do it, you're going to bring back those. Remember those days, those college or Colorado games, and I don't know. I'm going to say maybe 90s, whatever. I mean, They were wrecking. They were a hell of a football team.
Yes,
and I think he can do that. I think he can bring the tradition back, and I think he's already started. He's got the people believing in him. He's going out in the community. I mean, he was with that, I believe she was in her 80s or 90s, the number one fan, goes to her house, visits her, sits with her, brings her to the games. I mean, that's what you need to do. Get people to believe in you, buy in. And this is what I always said about high school and other things. If you can get the parents to believe in you, it's a cakewalk from there, because they're going to say, do what you got to do to help my Johnny get it to where he's at, and that's what we did. And that made a big difference, getting the parents, in the college case, the alumni, get them to believe in you. And I'll tell you what, you could run the world on that.
I agree with you 100%. You know, there were a lot of people that actually laughed about him being the head coach there. They didn't think that, you know, just because he was Showtime and one of the greatest two-sport players of all time. Let's not forget, the guy is in the NFL Hall of Fame. He was one of the greatest defensive backs in history. Not only that, running back kickoffs, and no one could touch him. The guy ran like a 4.29 or something like that. And he was an incredible baseball player like Bo Jackson as well. Yeah. They actually, people laughed at him, and the guy went, and what did he do? He proved, I'm not just a player, because you know, Coach, some players that are absolutely lights out incredible, they're not wired for coaching. He proved that he knows it.
Yeah, and you talk about somebody can go football, baseball, and again, you're talking about in the pro level. But you know, you get those guys at high school that and I'm sure there was a bunch of them at Ursuline.
Yep.
You know, there was guys like Matt Cavanaugh and Ronnie Calcagni, and there was a string behind them that played baseball, football, basketball, track. Yep. I mean, these guys were just, and everything that they touched turned to gold. These guys could have played any sport that they wanted, because that's what, I mean, they were just great athletes. And the kids of today don't understand what it takes to be a great athlete. They think that if they just go out there and go through the motions, it's a lot of hard work and studying and lifting and doing what you got to do and pushing yourself to get better. Unfortunately, the kids of today, if you push the kid of today like we pushed the kids back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, they would probably fold. Not being disrespectful, but kids are, again, we talked about this before, I don't think they're as tough as we were.
It's a different mindset.
It
Definitely.
is.
Yeah, for sure. It is a different mindset. Coach, thank you so much, brother, for being here. It is always an honor, and you know that I will be bringing you back soon. Give that special somebody a hello and a hug from me.
I will. God bless, Matt.
Same to you.
Take care. Hope the family's getting bigger, stronger, and as well as you, my friend.
Thanks, brother. Love you, man. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. Bye.
Bye. And that was Coach Bob Gessler, just an incredible man, a great football mind. And he is just, lights out when he gets on the field. He is a beast with coaching, and he was a good player as well. So Coach Bob Gessler, thank you for being on. We're about to have another guest call in, somebody whose family I go way back. My best friend was his little brother, no longer here with us. But, when my buddy who's calling in, will let y'all obviously know who it is. I'm excited that I'm going to be getting to talk to him. A lot going on. Like I said, everybody. Hey, everybody, real quick, I just wanted to mention, you're from the Youngstown, Warren area. Go to the Niles Belleria Pizza. Joe Eckenrode is a Youngstown guy. He unfortunately graduated from Cardinal Mooney. I won't hold that against him. But if you go into or order from the Niles Belleria, tell them you heard it right here on Just Football with Matt Emch, and they will give you a free cheese puff. You don't know what a cheese puff is? It is a fried dough with a different kind of cheese, whatever you choose to go inside of it. They are awesome. It's kind of a Niles area thing, Niles, Ohio. It's phenomenal. You get a free one. So check out. I'm going to tell you the truth. Belleria Pizza and Niles is heads and above the other ones, man. The other ones are good, but Niles, Belleria, it is phenomenal. So go check them out there. And we should be getting a call here from our mystery guest any second. And, what's crazy, everyone? It is absolutely amazing how fast the football season is already getting here. And I'm not just talking about the semi-pro season that I had mentioned. I'm talking about the high school and the pros and the college. They're talking about it. I mean, they're already getting ready to start camp and everything. Spring football just ended for colleges, and it's going to be, really, really exciting to have them start up again real soon. So let me see here for all of you. What is going on here with the guest, and and here we go, everyone. And so we're going to go right immediately to the lines, everybody. I have a dear friend, old school, Eric Ungaro, who a lot of you know in the political part of this surrounding area. I know him, his best bud, and his brother Sean, God rest his soul, was my best friend, brother growing up. They are my family, the Ungaro family. Eric also coached football for many, many years here in the Youngstown, Warren area, and we're here to talk about some football tonight. How you doing, E?
Big Matt, what's going on, my man?
We're just talking some football here tonight. Thank you very much for calling. I'm honored.
Oh, come on. You're my man now. You're like my little brother, even though you're bigger than me.
You'll always be Big E to me, man. I grew up at the Ungaro house.
Hey, it's revving up. It's getting ready to rev up.
It is. And you have something to share, correct?
Yeah, no, we got we're trying. We're working hard to try to build something. I've been out of the game a couple years, kind of retired. But then, a good friend of mine, Matt Richardson, he came back to the area, took the Harding job. And for the last couple months, he's been doing a great job getting the staff together. I was honored. He wants me to run the defense. And another good friend of mine, Kurt Kuntz, who was with us at Howland, and he was the head coach of Struthers, and he went to the Dolphins for a while.
Yep, I know Kirk very well.
Yeah, he's going to, come back and be the offensive coordinator, and I'm going to do some credit recovery over there with some kids, some at-risk kids to, try to get them back on the right track, get them some jobs and do some good things. So we've been fortunate right now. He solidified it. And they are going to have like a meet the coaches night coming up in May out there in Warren. So I could tell you this, we got some pretty good coaches, now we just gotta try to put it all together. It's tough because when you're in one place for, 10 years, I was in the city, and then 20 years at Howland, you know the kids, you know what they could do. They know what to expect from you. So, there's more to coaching than just getting on a chalkboard and drawing up stuff. I do this, I do that. There's a lot of it comes down to relationships and getting kids to play hard for you and discipline and turnovers and just, fundamental old school football. So that's what we're excited about trying to do. I just actually got home from there just now. Fortunate enough to make it.
I love it. And again, thank you for giving me the time. You guys, first of all, when you told me a few weeks ago that you were going to be getting back into it, I've been saying to you for years, when you getting back into it, E? Come on, dog. So I'm happy.
Present itself right.
Yeah, it's great.
And you know what? They got Massillon-like facilities. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah, the brand new facilities. I was just going to say that they got that amazing athletic facility they're building.
Crazy. In Warren, it's the only school in town for the most part. JFK is obviously a lot smaller now, and it's just the community is very supportive of their athletics, their academics, and they're kind of putting it to work right now. So we're gonna go full bore and just see how it works out.
It is super exciting to hear that. I'm very good friend.
Bobby Toth there too.
Oh, with Coach Toth there.
Yeah, did Toth coach you?
He did. He coached me. Him and DeMilo coached me on the freshman team. So wow.
And you know what? Coach Mendez is back. He's coaching with me on the defense.
I love Dom. Dom and I are very good friends.
Oh yeah. Man,
wow, you got a superstar team going there, man.
I mean, on the defensive side, we're gonna have myself. We got Michael Zordich coaching linebackers.
Come on.
Coach Mendez, Vince Peterson, Elfie Birch, Rico Murray, African Grant. Then on offense, they're going to have, Matty. He's obviously the head coach, so he's wherever he wants to be.
Right.
Kurt Kuntz, Toth, Lazari, Anthony Elias, Coach Kagi. And I don't go into the offensive meetings. I think that's pretty much it.
That's okay.
So, they got about 60, 70 kids lifting, man. That's one thing I'm not used to. You even at Ursuline, you only had 40. I mean, there were 40 Warriors, but in Howland, you have 40. But, you just hope the 40 that you got are Warriors and buy into what you're doing. So we'll see how this plays out. But go ahead. You were going to ask something. I heard you.
No, well, what I was going to say is, first I was going to say about Toth. Was he still at Boardman before he came over?
He was with us for years at Howland. Well, obviously Ursuline back in the day, and then Howland. Then he did when his son was playing at Boardman. He was over at Boardman, went to Harding for a little bit in there, and then he was at Cheney for probably about the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then, now we were just kind of waiting to see how the pieces fell, with the staff, and they kind of fell the right way, and so we were fortunate to get that crew. I mean, that's for sure. Oh yeah, and Coach Radich, he came over, longtime coach.
I love it. Eric, do me a favor. Stay on the line. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll close out the show when we get back. You're listening to Just Football. I'm your host, Matt Emch. Eric and Garrow with us.
Experience nature's bounty with Creation's Backyard. Elevate your health with the most nutrient-dense foods on earth. From farm to table, sustainably cultivated with care. Grown locally in Niles, Ohio with no chemicals or synthetics ever. Unlock your culinary creativity with Creation Backyard Microgreens. Convenient local delivery and pickup options available. Order now at creationsbackyard.com or call 330-282-7208.
In the Valley, football is king, and the Mahoning Valley Federals are looking to build the 2024 roster with talent forged in this area to compete for a Tri-Point Football League championship. If you're 18 and older and looking to return to the gridiron, call General Manager John Galbraith at 330-540-1099 or visit the team on Facebook at Mahoning Valley Federals Developmental Football. The Mahoning Valley Federals, honoring the football tradition in the Valley.
SNK, painting your house today. SNK, painting your house
SNK Painting provides exceptional painting and refinishing services to the Mahoning Valley and surrounding communities by being an industry leader in our field, focusing on customer service and delivering extraordinary results. We offer interior and exterior painting, and we specialize in cabinet refinishing with affordable cabinet solution. Call SNK Painting for your free estimate at 330-505-1910.
SNK, painting your house today.
From high school to the pros and everything in between, you're listening to City View Sportscast, part of the iMedia One network.
And welcome back to Just Football. I am your host, Matt Emch. We have a special guest on the line, Eric Ongaro, newly joining the Warren Harding Raiders as the defensive coordinator. I love that. You guys did a great job at Howland when Dick Angle, both of our ex-coach, head coach at Ursuline. Man, you have an all-star cast there. You're going to have, in my opinion, what you guys have there with coaches, with that new athletic facility, which it looks second to none. I have not seen the inside, but you give kids the digs, you give kids the equipment and the uniforms. Man, they play another level, and they're going to feel special even more so having that. Steve Arnold is a good guy. He knows his stuff. I'm good friends with him, but you know what? Obviously, they needed a new breath of fresh air in there, and I think you guys are going to turn things around.
We're going to try. It's what I tell people, though. You could have coaches, you could have some bodies, but you're going up and you're playing Massillon, you're playing Camp McKinley. Like you're not playing chumps now. So you still got to do everything right old school backyard type football, man. No turnovers. You got to get first downs. Don't give up big plays on defense. Sound special teams. It's still a pretty simple formula. And the good thing is we have a staff of people that buy into the old school, shut up, get in the huddle, get lined up, get what you got to do, run to the ball, be good tacklers, be physical on the O-line. And, it makes it easier because, football has obviously changed. And you know what? I might realize it maybe passed me up the last couple of years, but we're going to go back to the prehistoric way of just hard-nosed discipline, in and out of the huddle, pursuing, tackling, being aggressive as we could possibly be, and just see where the chips fall, my man. Just to see where the chips fall.
Well, you know what, Eric? You look at any level, high school, college, FBS, FCS, and there's damn good teams in FCS. They beat some of the big boys in FBS. And the pros, you get down to the championship part of the playoffs, you got to be able to do it all. You got to be able to run and pass and play old school. You don't play defense, you're in trouble. You get all the old school basics down and you do it well, you're going to win championships. That's what everybody ends up doing. You could get as fancy as you want, but it always comes down to the basics when championships roll around. You had mentioned the teams that you guys are going to be playing. One of the things as a sports broadcaster and ex-player, that I always marvel about what Coach Arnold had been doing for years is Harding does not shy away like Ursuline and only a couple others. I think Harding plays the hardest schedule out of the area year in, year out. They're not afraid to do it, and you got to play the best to be playoff ready. Are you guys going to keep that rolling as a new coaching staff is in there?
I know right away, our first scrimmage is Steubenville. So we're not, we're not trying to just go get the kids' attention, go walk over somebody. And the schedule this year is just as hard, and it's going to continue to stay that way. And you're right. You're not even talking about the local teams. I mean, you're still messing with Ursuline. I mean, they're in the state championship every year. Mooney's getting better. Fitch is massive. Their facilities aren't like Punk's. I mean,
they got a new one they're building too.
And Dota's, he's got guys out there at Boardman. So, just from a local standpoint, you're you're grinding. And then you throw in St. V's, you throw in McKinley, you throw in Massillon Perry, you throw in Massillon Jacks. You don't really have any. You're not going into the game saying, "Oh, thank God, we got an 80% chance to win this." And one thing that's a little different for me, obviously when I played, it was sickening because you took 4 teams to the playoffs. So even my senior year, we beat Cincinnati Moeller, we lose. Mooney wins state, Boardman's runner-up in state, and us and Fitch were as good as anybody and didn't even make the playoffs. Right. You only took 1 team per region.
Yeah, one loss would kick you out when we used to play.
One loss. So then in turn, you go through the years of me coaching, went from 4 teams to 6 teams to 8 teams the majority of my career. Now, the schedule used to always matter. Dick Engle would always say, you only got so many bullets. You look at your schedule. All right, you got to mess with Poland. You got to mess with Canfield. And you got Harding. So, Engle was the master of kind of, getting some games in there that, obviously on paper, you had about a 99% chance of winning.
Right.
Where now, teams are making it in with 3 and 4 wins.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not the same.
It's a different world. But, it's money. It's the state. They figured it out. Even if you got a 3-win team playing an undefeated team, you're going to odds of you selling 6,000 tickets are probably pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, and that one thing you add all those other schools, and again, yes, it's for money and all that. We had 6 divisions when you and I played. They have 7 now, and it weeds itself out. So that's why it's more about money. Because if you set the number 1 team against the number 16 team, that's really that's a shame.
Even D1 is horrible. They all make it. I mean, you got Lakewood St. Ed's playing. Akron East. It's just. But hey, you know what? Those are people that make a lot more money than me. I just don't like it because it lowers the bar. It thinks kids and parents think their kids are better than they are. Kids
You're not the only one to say that, Eric.
Yeah, you don't have to work as hard. Who gives a shit if you lose 6 games?
They give everybody a trophy. Yeah, give them all a trophy.
So, but I don't know. Maybe I'm the one that's behind the times here. I'm 54, and guys my age were just like, what is this? But hopefully, we could coach that way. And obviously, Harding has a phenomenal tradition. Coach Arnold, he kept it going. Let's face it, they're as storied as any program in the state of Ohio.
Oh yeah,
facilities,
and they used to take it to Massillon. That was like the rivalry. My uncle who passed away, John Caparanis, who was the voice of Harding for years, 60 years. He was a legend in Ohio and in the country. They knew him everywhere. He went to Harding, and he hated Massillon, and I wish he was still here, but he would not have been happy to see them finally get their championship. So it's got to change. That's what everybody expects. That's what they want. The Winds have got to switch sides now. Harding's got to get back to like when I was a senior. They had just joined reserve in Harding. They won the Division I state championship. That's what you guys got, a lot of pressure, but I think you guys can do it.
Well, I mean, we definitely are going to be at least, we're going to end the game. We got a puncher's chance. I mean, you got a puncher's chance just being at Harding. Now we were, thank God Maddie had the wherewithal and the administration was on board to really try to put a staff together. And again, hey, none of us are Nick Saban, but I can tell you this, we're all cut from the same mold. Even guys like Elfie Birch and them, they're old school.
Yep.
Like we say, get in the huddle, shut up, don't run your mouth. It's not the ref's fault.
Act like you've been there.
Yeah, those are things that you just try to radiate in kids and have them just bust their butt, pursue regardless what the play is.
And don't give the other team corkboard material, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, just today and day and age with Twitter and all this stuff, just steer clear. We were able to talk stuff about Mooney or any team we played, and no one really would know about it. Now, You say one thing, man, it's all over the place.
Yeah, it is. Well, Eric,
even the Super Bowl, look, came down to fundamentals, man. Missed extra point, a little debacle in overtime with decision making, and so in the end, it still came down to one or two situations.
Yeah, I agree. Eric, thank you,
all
brother,
right,
for calling in. I love you, brother. We'll talk to you again.
All right, baby.
All right, man. Take care. That was Eric Ungaro, new coach, defensive coordinator of the Harding Raiders of Warren. Look out. This is Just Football. I'm your host, Matt Emch. Bye, everybody.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was
the
fine.
most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Golf in the Mahoning Valley starts at Mill Creek Golf Course. Come out to the 36 beautiful hole design course by Donald Ross, and golf lessons are available by calling the team shop at 330-740-7112. Don't forget about family fun nights on Friday and Saturday evenings, a family of 4 with cart for only $25. Or visit the Wick Recreation Area and the lighted Par 3 course. Book your tee time today at